Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to another update on how I'm doing on the Mindful Image Challenge box, or subscription box challenge. I can build one, but hopefully by the time I'm finished with this series, I will get it right. Mindful Image Subscription Box Challenge. Anyway, challenge using the subscription box. Last video we made this cover, and since then I have gone ahead and made up some signatures, which I will show you. I put some things on here because I remembered I needed to use this thing for the cover, so we got some stuff going on with the cover. And then I also grabbed some things out of the box for embellishment. So first thing, I went ahead and grabbed this out of here and it was ripped, so I used some of the washi tape to fix it. And then I might go ahead and tuck this in here. It just fits so perfectly, but I might also tuck her somewhere else. So there's this. I'm not 100%. If I don't put this in here, I don't know what I'm putting in it yet, but there's a lot of ephemera and stuff in here. So that's fixed, so I can put that back in the box for now. This is that Sabriel book. And I used the, what is it? Like kind of like vintagey label washi tape to attach it. So it turned into something that is completely not the theme of this, but it looks cool. So we're just gonna go with it. So I put the spine in here, and this is a pocket. And we've got all these cool stickers that I went through the pile of ephemera and went ahead and put those in. And then this also came in the box, a nice little journaling notebook with coffee dyed sheets, and it just happened to fit so perfectly in this little pocket. So I think I'm going to keep it like that, except this little guy came unglued, so we're going to fix that. I always have to make sound effects when I'm gluing. I don't know why, just do. Okay. All right, and then this will just slip back in there nice and happy. Hopefully it's not getting glued. Okay, so there's that. So it can hold some more things. I thought about maybe putting these in here. I don't know. So that is mostly done. She is put together, ready to tuck in. And then there were 4 playing cards, and I wanted to keep them looking like playing cards, and the backs were kind of boring. So I went ahead and grabbed some more rectangular ephemera from the box. If you watch the unboxing, you'll have seen these pieces of paper. They did come from the box, and I just glued them to the back of the cards. So this one and probably this one can be journaled on, and then these ones are just kind of cool. I mean, I guess if we wanted to turn them into journaling spots, we could cover the back of this, but I don't know. I think maybe they're just kind of a cool tag type of dealio. And then if someone wants to make it a journaling spot later, they can do that. So those are done. Well, they're not totally done, actually. I need to ink them. So let's go ahead and do this. I just love the difference that inking the edges of things makes. And I don't know, I'm one of those people where it drives me nuts. Like if you're an inker and you ink some of the stuff and you give me a little pile of things like in a pocket and most of them are inked and 1 or 2 things aren't, it drives me nuts. It drives me crazy. Like that needs to be inked. It needs to be distressed. Make it fit. Make it look like it came from somewhere old, long time ago. And of course this is a vintage photo, so it's going to make any of these like photos look so good. So good. Okay, and then 2 more. Speedy, 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 quick, quick. paper definitely picks it up way better than the playing card itself does. So that one had playing card on the edge and it was just not picking up. Annoying. Okay. That one a little extra grunge. Okay. Cool. So those are ready to tuck somewhere. I did get these out because my next thing was going to be decoupaging, but I'll have to do that in a minute. And then, so I originally had pulled these out and I realized I finished the cover, mostly finished the cover, and didn't use these. So this is the coffee filter, or was the coffee filter. I cut it in half and then I folded those bits in half. So this is what it looked like before. And then I went ahead and inked it with some archival inks. I believe I used these two, the Vintage Photo and of course Ground Espresso, because that just seemed appropriate. And then I also took some, I don't know if you can see the shimmer, but there's some gold shimmer on here. You can really see it on this. And that is this. So this is, I got this at Goodwill, I think. And it is a gold ink pad and it is amazing. So I put a little, just a touch on there to make it a little bit sparkly. And so what I'm going to do with these, instead of put them on the cover, is I figured they could be some cool corner tucks. And then to give it a little more structure, I'm going to take these scraps from this, and when I glue it to the page, I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'll probably glue these on like this, and then cut that off, and it'll just be this nice little tucky tuck. And then this one, I have another one, I'll probably use these pieces so you can kind of see a little bit better what that will look like. So I've got a couple of tucks. I guess I could glue these. I guess I could glue them now, huh? Let's just do that. Let's do it. Let's do it, do it, do it. Where's my little, I keep a piece of cardstock nearby for gluing things so I don't glue my other little bits together. So we'll just do that. My goodness. Okay, glue. Glue everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. And this isn't super structural. It's more, well, I mean, it is going to give the edges of this some structure when I glue it down, but there we go. Nice. So then I'll let that dry, and then I've got a little corner embellishment, and then we'll do this one. See. Well, of course I cut it a little short. That's okay, because this one will cover it, I think. Yes, it will cover it. Okay, let's not mess up this one. All right, it's a little long. I can trim it later. All right, glue and a glue and a smoosh. Stick and a smoosh and a stick. Now, if I was thinking about it, thinking more ahead, well, what I was about to say is I would have done these a separate side so it can be not just the same sides like this, but I can go whoop, and I can put them maybe in the center somewhere. So yeah, they can. They can. So cool. Turned out that I didn't have to think about it as hard as I thought. Cool. So those are June. And then I had the white, these were stark white doilies, and I did not like them white. They just weren't doing anything for me. So I started out with this one, and I just took my ground espresso ink pad and I went like this all over it, and that made it super grungy. And I did that on both sides, and I was like, okay, well, it's dark now. It's not totally white, but I wasn't in love with it. So I put it aside and decided I did not want to do the same thing for this one. So for this one, I grabbed some, excuse my baby crying, she's going down for a nap. This one I grabbed, what did I do first? I believe I did this pink. So I grabbed some of this pink on a dauber and just went around the whole outside with the pink. And then I put gold on it, and then I put gold in the middle, and I was like, that's not enough. Let's do some blue. So then I grabbed the teal zeal and popped that on there. And it looks kind of cool. And then I did the same thing on the other side. You can definitely see I went a little too to town with the exact circles there, but I think it's still kind of cool. Ooh, and it's super, and I don't think the camera does it much of any justice, but it's super shimmery. And this is super, super shimmery too. So these will probably get glued to a page. And then this was just a piece of grass dyed paper that I had, and I used it to protect my mat. And while I was inking those, it turned into this, which is amazing. So I'm going to use this somehow, probably backing for some tags or somewhat something. I don't know. But this is now part of the project. And now I have this lid here full of project specific scraps. So we've got that going for us. Let's see. So I showed you these. Those can go bye-bye. These can go over here. All right. So now, if I can do this without bumping my camera. All right. So we will bring this back. And I think what I'm going to do with this, I think I'm going to sew here and here and here, just to keep these together more sturdily than just glue. And I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to attach it yet, or where I'm going to attach it. I have to see how thick the journal ends up being. But and before I get back into the middle, I grabbed, so this piece, let's just reconstruct this a little bit. So this is a piece of the DigiKit, and I think it's supposed to be a tag of some kind. I'm not sure. I'm still waiting to see how she put the whole thing together, but I thought that looked kind of cool, just like that. And obviously we're gonna ink this on the outside, make it all grungy looking. Hang on, give me 1 second. I will do that. All right, and we're back. So this has been distressed, inked on the edges, and I put a little bit more in the middle so it wasn't so stark white. And I keep saying grungy, but I don't mean grungy. Grungy's pretty, in my mind, pretty, like this is pretty grungy, but that is not. Anyway, so I'm thinking I'm gonna glue this down, and then we're gonna put these flowers, stickers here-ish, something like that, maybe a little off center. And then this is going to glue in the middle. And I thought that just looked a little bit weird all by itself, but of course we have the chains. So I played around a lot and was like, maybe I'll hang it from something, but I think just gluing or stapling or somehow, some way kind of attaching this here. And I think I'm going to take the clasp part off, and then this one here, maybe it's going to be a little more Obviously that will be easier when everything is glued down, but just to kind of get the idea. I'm thinking something, oof, quit sliding, something like this. Where this will be tacked in different places and left to kind of hang a little in others. So we have that nice texture. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? And then let me know what might be the best way to attach this. I'm thinking I could use Fabri-Tac, but that could come off over time with use. I was thinking I might be able to like staple it and then like color the staples with gold, but I don't currently have a staple that opens up that I can do that with, so not sure about that. I suppose I could sew it on. I do have an awl. I could poke holes through and sew it on. That would bring things through here, but that could, you know, add character. I don't know. If you guys have any other ideas, let me know in the comments, and I will address this part of the cover in the next video after y'all have given me some ideas. So there is that. Pretty sure that's how I'm going to use these though. All right, so the pages, the signatures. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 7 of these pages in the box. I used 3 for the cover. So 1, 2, and 3. So those are all used. So I had 4 more left. So I figured I would use the last 4 as, what do they call them? Like signature covers, or basically the separation between the signatures. So because I had 4 left, I decided to do 4 signatures. 4 signatures is kind of a lot for a 2-inch spine, so they can't all have like 10 pages in them. I think I started with 9, including the cover, and I ended up taking 2 out. So each one has 7 pages now, or a cover in 6 sheets, I should say, 6 sheets folded in half. So then I grabbed my papers and I took them to the sewing machine, and for this, when I chopped it to size, I had this extra piece, so I went ahead and just sewed it here so that each signature, when you open it up, you're gonna have a nice tuck spot at the beginning and end of each signature. And then I have some honey locust. I have a catalog page, some light honey locust with some lace, teeny tiny zigzag stitch on it. Might not show up. Focus. It does not want to focus, but it's there. It's just tiny. You can probably see it better on this side. And then on this, just a plain tea dyed paper, we got some of these. This will be cool. And then for the middle piece, I did this star heirloom stitch with my machine. It was really cool. And I put this lace on. And this is one of those lace dyed papers as well. And then it's all the same going throughout. So each of the signatures has the same type of thing. So you've got your outside, your dark honey locust, the catalog page, light honey locust with a small lace on it, and then a dark tea dye, some of this stuff, and then the pretty middle page, which is a lace tea dye with lace sewed on the edges. So I did that with all 4, and they're all a little bit different. Now this one, I did not, the middle one, I didn't make this stick out because it was so big. I thought it would be cool to have some lace pockets. But then when I closed it, there was nothing sticking out, and it looked very, very different from all the other signatures. So I went ahead and put some lace on this outside one. But that's how that is. That one is different. But other than that, it's the same as the others. And the reason I did it the same is just honestly just for ease and simplicity on my part. I think once it's embellished, and this one actually turned out pretty cool. I used this double zigzag and a variegated yarn that, or not yarn, but thread that actually turned out to be rainbow. So that one's cool. But even though it uses basically, each signature uses the same formula, the same like pages, I think that it'll look different enough once I have all the stuff in there that won't be a big problem. And it just makes it a lot simpler putting the signatures together, just being like, all right, I have 4 signatures. Here's one of this, and just go through that way. Otherwise I'll sit here for 100 years trying to figure out what papers to put in. So, also one thing that, I got from my mom, she actually was playing around with a journal she was making for my mother-in-law, and she wanted to bind it in so she knew what things were like, but she didn't want it to be permanent. So she took rubber bands and put her signatures in that way. Well, I don't have rubber bands and I don't have elastic, so I just used some thin ribbon that I have. And I tied them in, and then I took them out because I figured you guys might like to see how that was done, or how it looks when it's done. So this is the next one, okay. So you can easily slide these whole signatures in and out. And the point of this is so that you can kind of see the bulk of what you're doing, and know if you need to edit, take things out, put things in. And if you just end up like hating a page, you can easily take it out and put another one in. But it's kind of like the best of both worlds, somewhere between binding before you decorate and decorating before you bind. So you know how everything's going to lay and how it's going to interact with other signatures next to it, etc. So let's go ahead and stick this in here. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, when she did this, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so genius. Okay, except that's like really loose. Oh, it's because it's I somehow did a slip knot for that. Okay. All right. So now we've got our 4 little ribbons. Here we go. And if I wanted to, I could probably bind it like that too if I wanted, but I think I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to bind. I'm pretty sure I'm going to sew it. I just don't know if I'm going to do a hidden spine or if I'm going to go ahead and bring them through. I'm not sure if I'm going to use wax string or if I might even just use this ribbon to bind the signatures in. I like how it's looking. I will say that it is definitely going a shabby chic direction, if you will. And that is not my usual, I mean, I haven't made a ton of these journals yet, but it's not my usual go-to when I'm looking at journals and going, ooh, I love that. So a little bit out of my comfort zone, I guess. But I do love working with the lace, and we will just see how it goes. So I think, I'm trying to figure out where might we put these doilies. I mean, one thing that I could do is literally just bind it in. I could just make it a flippy. I could do that. I might do that. Because I don't know if I want to put it over the lace on here, and it's kind of too big for a whole page. Maybe I cut it in half or like zigzag it and be like, oh look, it's gonna be 2 parts coming together. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Just maybe I bind it like this in the middle of that. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna leave that there for now. Well, whatever. If it has a crease, it has a crease. It's fine. Reckless abandon. Let's go. And this one definitely looks like it may fare better on a pink page. But how? Because this just doesn't, seem to really, oh, maybe there. Maybe I'll stick it like that. I don't know. Maybe it will go here. Anyway. We'll stick them there for now, and we'll do that. Boop. Cool. And I am so excited. I can't wait to get this on, but it has to be able to be long enough and so that the journal can be stuffed, but I don't want it to be like out like this. I don't know, does that look bad? Maybe that looks kind of, it might look better when this is sewn for it to be kind of like that, because then as the journal expands, it doesn't look as bulky and weird anymore. It's doing what it's supposed to do, but if the journal is thin, it's just kind of overkill. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts. So for now, oh, I should figure out where I'm going to put these. I'm going to work on using these napkins, and then I'll start putting some things on some pages. But that is part 2, the signatures and some embellishment projects for the Mindful Image subscription box challenge. So see you next time.